Hello there and welcome to the Card Grotto. Today I'm creating a card with sparkly die cut leaves. So let's get started. I've started off by die cutting the Hero Arts Autumn Leaves Fancy dies from glitter paper. These are such pretty dies. I really love all of the indentations in the leaves, and then you also get an acorn as well. I thought it'd be really pretty to cut them from the glitter paper fall collection from Hero Arts. This has got bronze and copper glitter paper in the set. So I'm going to die cut all of the leaves. I only ended up using 3 leaves in the end, but it's quite nice to have some extras. So I'm just grabbing some low tack tape to try and hold them in place. Not a huge amount sticks to glitter paper, but it did help a little bit while I was running them through my die cutting machine. So like I said, I've cut them from the bronze and the copper paper, and you can see all of those indentations in the leaves. Even on glitter paper, these show up really nicely, which I really liked. I think these leaves work really pretty on like packaging or anything like that as well, but I am just, like I said, using 3 on the card. This is the Hero Arts Happy Thanks Stamp and Cut XL set, and I've cut the thanks word 3 times from Dove White cardstock. I've kept one of them in the kind of backing negative piece so that I can layer the 2 other ones on top. So I'm taking some Hero Arts precision glue and just adding a small amount of that onto the back of the word, and then I can stack those one on top of another. I like to keep one of them in the backing just so that I don't distort the letters by accident. And I do like to stack up die cuts quite a bit. I do still use foam tape sometimes, but it's quite nice to have that stacked look. And then I can just carefully remove that from the backing. And then I'm going to grab a pokey tool just to remove the inside pieces of the letters. And then I can use that to remove any of the fuzzy bits on the outside of the die cut as well. I've cut and folded an A2 sized card base from Hero Arts Pitch Black cardstock. This is my favourite black cardstock. It's really kind of deep in colour, which I really appreciate. And so I'm just figuring out here where I want my arrangement to be. I kind of want it sort of in the top middle of the card. So once I've kind of figured that out, I'm going to add some foam tape onto the top of the leaves. I want the bottoms to be flat because I'm going to add that thanks word kind of overlapping them, and I didn't really want the bulkiness of that, but I still wanted a little bit of dimension in the leaves. So I'm just adding that at the top, and then I can add some liquid glue at the bottom. I am dabbing off the excess glue. This is a black card base. I really don't want that glue showing. Although the glue does dry clear, I don't really want to have to worry about that. So I'm just dabbing off that excess, and then I can press that down onto the card. I didn't quite get the leaves equal, I think, on either side of the card base, but I got it middle enough. So I can just add some more glue onto the back of this smaller leaf here. Again, dab off that excess, and then I can place that down onto the card base. I think these colours, like I said, work really lovely against that black. They kind of just pop really nicely. And then I'm just going to figure out here, before I put adhesive onto the back of the thanks, where I want it to be. And then I can add some glue onto the back of that. I kind of want the thanks word to cover up the stems of the leaves. So again, I'm just adding small amounts of that glue on the back, and this glue does adhere down onto the glitter paper really nicely. But again, I'm just dabbing off the excess, and then I can place that down. And then once I've placed that down, I'm going to grab an acrylic block, just something heavy, so that that glue dries and adheres down really nicely. Then I can work on the accompanying sentiment. So this is going to say "for everything," and this is from the Hero Arts Thank You Messages stamp set. I'm going to stamp it onto some more pitch black cardstock. So I'm just placing that down in the mini MISTI here. And then I can ink up the stamp with Hero Arts Clear Embossing and Watermark ink. This is a sticky ink so that the embossing powder is going to stick to it. Before I stamp this down, I realised that I didn't prep my cardstock with an anti-static powder tool, and this really is very helpful, especially when using black cardstock. So I just grabbed that and then dusted off the excess powder, and then I can stamp the sentiment down. The sentiment is really delicate, so I'm just pressing down really lightly, and I'm just going to double stamp that. And then I can apply some Hero Arts copper embossing powder. I thought that this would work really nicely with the glitter paper. So it's all kind of sparkly, and it kind of, like I said, really pops against the black cardstock. So I'm just going to use my heat tool here and heat set that until it's completely melted. I do like to heat from the front and the back. That does help prevent warping. And you can see here just that magicalness of the embossing powder melting. I did get a bit of warping with the sentiment, but once I kind of cut it into a strip, it gets rid of all of that warping. I'm just going to remove the excess powder with an anti-static cloth, and then I can cut that into a strip. I'm going to add some thin foam tape onto the back of this strip so that it's about the same height as the thanks word. I think it's a little bit less, but I didn't want it to be too bold, so I'm just using the thinner foam tape here. And then I can stick that down underneath the thanks word. And then I wanted to have something underneath that, so it kind of looked more of an arrangement of the leaves. So I'm just cutting 2 of the individual leaves off of that kind of branch there, and I'm going to stick them underneath the sentiment. So I'm going to cut those down so that they fit really nicely underneath the sentiment strip. And it kind of adds some movement to the card, I think, kind of like they're kind of floating in the air kind of thing. I did cut that one at a slightly wrong angle, so I'm just going to grab another of the individual leaves from that branch and just cut another one off. And this time try and make sure that I cut it at the right angle. And for these ones, I'm just going to stick them down flat with that precision glue. So I can again add small dabs of that onto the back of the leaves and then stick those down. Just using some tweezers just to help me out. These are really quite small, but like I said, I think it finishes off the card nicely. And then to add even more sparkle onto the card, I'm just going to add some small dabs of the precision glue, and then I'm going to add some Lucy's cards bronze jewels to this, so little things from Lucy's cards. These are really pretty, and again the bronze works really nicely with the shades of the glitter paper. So just adding a few around all of the leaves here. And that's the card finished for today. I really love how those leaves just sparkle against that black cardstock. I tend to really love like rose gold or anything like that against the kind of black card base. I think it looks very pretty. Links to the products that I used will be in the description bar on YouTube and also over on my blog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.